Peace, power, and love on this day of Black history, of Black love, Black peace, of Black people coming together, healing, and realizing their self worth. As a group of people, uh, locally, nationally, globally, there's a need of healing and coming together on this day of Black history, 2017. This is Humam Abdulmalik, Blackanized International Nubian Consciousness, Blackanized Report. Well, what's going on in our community is the thing that we need to report and be talking about as a people, coming together to take control over our community so that we can be financially feasible, academically feasible, spiritually feasible, to come together as a people and being in our community and developing the economical wherewithal to come together and unify together as a people, so that we don't have what was a slave catchers, paddy waggers, whatever you want to call them, the extension of 1863, 1563, whatever, of the slave catchers in our community who's supposed to be doing a job, but their job is to protect the property of those who own and control the property. We as a people must come together in a unified effort to develop a Wall Street mentality, a Wall Street scenario or environment. I was looking at matter of fact, yesterday morning I was looking at something pertaining to Wall Street, and also this morning I was looking at something pertaining to Wall Street. And we as a people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, have put together a vibrant community, self-sufficiency. I mean, with everything, movies, transportation, bankers, and schools, and hotels, and everything. But through the enviness of the other people who at that time seen these people come together, who was just recently released from captivity, if you want to say that, but came together in their so-called separation policy, and they strove and strived together to be sufficient, self-sufficient in all aspects of living in a community or environment. So much so that they lied and connived of this lie to get a group of terrorists. I'll say that. I'll use that for lack of a better word. And they came and terrorized the community because of a lie, of the deceit that they always do to try to defeat what has been developed in our community at that time, as well as in these days and time. It's a different type of terrorist that's going on. It's like social engineering, social narcotics, and all that is to keep us down and suppress in this integration, this period of this prolonged period of integration, where it seems as though we have, as a people, somewhat went through the eye of the needle, but it was just for a minute few, to seem as though they have all this success and this wealth to be well off. But Ray Charles had once said, ain't none of us free until all of us is free. We got to be economical, equal. It got to be a equal playing field. It got to be balanced. And we starting this race already years behind in the race that we're racing. It ain't a race against time because time is on our side. And all we have to do is realize who we are as a people and come together. Start a healing from within. Changing our thinking, our methodology, changing how we look at life in this world, what we put into our body. We got to start thinking spiritually, health, education, and wealth. Our real wealth is our lineal health, our connection to our ancestors and what they left us in the pathway, the road, the schismatic or the blueprint, how to be successful. We be successful by not emulating anybody. We must develop an infrastructure within this structure. We must unify and organize and rise up as a people united as one. People say we can't do it or it can't be done. And niggas gonna be always niggas. Yeah, that's true. But see, we are niggas and niggas T. The niggas, the real niggas are those who, according to the definition, who were lazy and shiftless and stuff like that. And that derogatory term, when it was used to describe us, it was a misconception. Definition, again, lazy and shiftless. Actions against our will. We was in the field all day long, working in the hot sun. We weren't lazy, we weren't shiftless, so that definition of us as a people doesn't even apply to us. But we can't get caught up and let other people validate us with stuff like that, with a term, don't use the N-word. Why not? Because the real niggas are those that are the niggas. We are niggas. We never been lazy or shiftless or anything like that. If anything, we was trying to duck the heat or trying to get away from that heat and being in that field all day long. We were always masters of agriculture or sciences and all that. What they did was they confined us in captivity and tried to break our spirit. They did, which they did to a lot of us, they didn't. The Seminole, us, raised up, fought against them, never accepted slavery. Some people is just in their bloodline, the royal bloodline, did not be a slave nor a nigga, because we know the reality. I know a lot of people in affluent positions always say, don't use the N-word. According to, again, the dictionary and the definition of Webster, they said it. We're lazy and shiftless. And so that's a reflection upon themselves, but they try to use it on us, and we accept it because we allow them to validate us. We can't let no one validate us. Not in this day and time, nor about our story. His lies distorted our story, and he called it his story. And we got to realize that the deception of this whole so-called democracy is a fallacy, a flagrant thievery that they stole from us as a people. We must realize who we are as a people, the divine people that we are, that the body is a temple. The energy of the Creator is within our body. It keeps us alive, this air, this breathing that motivates us, that gives us that electrical impulse. And we got to realize that. We got to thrive with that, to come back into the essence of who we are as a divine people, according to African spirituality. We have all the, say, religions or way of life, whatever we want to say, about that. But in my humble opinion, the religions of Christianity, Islam, Hebrew Israelites, the real Jews or whatever, all of them are vibrant. All the facets of Christianity, all the facets of Islam, but the majority of the people that's in each one of them happen to be us. And it happened to be us, and we be what? We'd be deliberately set against each other because of the concepts or the way of these religions would have it per se said that one religion go this way and one religion go that way, and if you ain't practicing this, then you are kafir, a disbeliever. If you don't practice this, then you ain't going to heaven when Jesus come back. And the other one, this everybody is no good because of the book says this and says that. But what does it do? It takes all of us in separate directions. When unity by us, by humanity, we come together, what can stop us? What can break that peace? What can break that harmony and that unity and of monetary, spiritual, academic, every aspect of our being would be in a united effort together if we just come together. And this the creator that we all worship is one energy, is one source. So why would it take us from each other instead of bringing us to each other as oneness in oneness? If we can understand that, understand the universe that's in us, that's related to the universe. If we can understand that the people that control these the political domain today, worldwide, globally, with the tentacles of imperialism worldwide. I messed that word up yesterday because I couldn't think of it. But I got it this morning. And see, it starts locally. It starts from, we got it here in America from the White House, Congress, and the judicial process. That's how the government system's supposed to be set up. But now we see that an infiltration of white supremacy and Ku Klux Klan is in mostly every level of all three of those legislative bodies, presidential, the legal, and the Congress. And it's so evident today that this is who is running this country under the guise of democracy. But they didn't let the cat at the hat, and things ain't working the way they thought it was going to be. They thought they can come and just turn the table upside down and do it what they wanted to do. But it ain't happening that way because of divine decree. And we as a people have opened our eyes to see the truth and the light, no matter what. I mean, some of us have sold our soul, become Negropean because what? Integration bring assimilation, and assimilation bring emulation, and emulation bring wanting to be, going against your nature, and you can't be that. I say in this day and time in Black history, our story, we must continue to rise up and unify. Because we've been through so much we have been through at the hands of the Nagathor, troglodyte, genome primate, whatever you want to call this mankind or type of man or this system we live under. We have to be world changers in this day and time, and system changers, and we have to just develop an infrastructure within the infrastructure that we now find ourselves. We have to do that by coming together, unifying, organizing, and developing it. We have to overcome our own idiosyncrasies. I'm the one, I know it all, and coming together, putting parts or pieces of this puzzle the parts of the puzzle that's going to build and shape and form the whole picture of a unified effort. We got to come together and do that. We as a people, wherever we find ourselves, whatever religion we may be practicing, we got to come together as melanated people, carbonated people, people that understand our own spirituality, based on our spirituality, indigenous, aborigines, or whatever on the global setting, because wherever on the globe, we were there first. We were the first creation of the Creator. We are the first people to establish civilizations. Don't know how it turned over like that. I'm trying to put my finger on it to see how people that were and are divine people with the essence of everything that is being taught to us is only we're regurgitating this what's in us, that's in our DNA, that's already divine prescriptive, that's been left on walls all over the world. We left monuments of who we were when we was there. They're trying to duplicate and replicate it with taking us out of the picture. Over in Akabu land, over in ancient Kemet, well, Egypt today, they chiseling away the colorful paintings of us. They chiseling away the noses and ears and to show the semblance of who were there, who were the builders of the civilizations. Even in South America, they talk about the Amalak heads, those big heads that look exactly like me and you. They say they monkeys. Oh man, just stop for a moment. I went to the movies and I seen the Planet of the Apes. I've been seeing all of them and all that, but this one I seen, I was like saying, who are they trying to depict? They trying to say the monkeys is us, and that they came from us, or they trying to say that the monkeys is the monkeys and they came from the monkeys, or they created the monkeys, or something like that. But it's all twisted because we know for a fact, scientifically proven, that all life originated from us as a people. I don't care where you're at on the planet. You can be anywhere on the planet, and all evidence leads that we were there first, that everybody came through our gene pool or whatever. Nobody on this planet Earth has a gene pool outside of our genes, and if they do, it's a primate genome, primate bloodline. So therefore, it tells you that something else was going on outside of human beings. There were a kind of beings that came into existence, which I humbly submit it was the troglodyte, Neanderthal genome primate that was dealing with these wolves or whatever up in the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. But it's scientifically proven by their scientists. And they can't hide the truth no more. We have to accept the truth. And I'm just wanting us to come together in unity in this day in Black history, using one of the principles of Kwanzaa, whatever principle that you like to use. We got to do this every day to build building blocks to unify and heal. And got to do this yesterday. Just reflecting on the Wall Streets. I'm just reflecting on the political system of the day, where the deception is like running so rampant. Usually they try to hide their lies, but they ain't trying to hide them because they say that false news or manufactured news and all that, the propaganda that always was, and fake news and all that, and alternative stories, alternative lies. They can't even do that right. They create that to be a blockage or a cover for their activities, but their activities, they become so rambunctious with doing it because they think they're empowering. Their power is not going to evade them, or their power is always going to be there. But it's eroding because it's exploding. Just like the Twin Towers, they didn't explode. It was an exploding like it is today in this political system. So that's why we as human beings, Black people, we must step back. This is the time to step back, to pool our resources, step back, unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure. I mean, whatever religion we practice, whatever we say we are, we conscious, we revolutionaries, we Muslim, we Christian, we Sunni, we Nation of Islam, we Hebrew Israelites, whatever we are as Black people, it is time to now, as Black people, to unify on the principles of Blackness, going Black to the ancient future, dealing with African spirituality. Here's it right here. Here you go, right here. All the religions are talked about. We got Islam, we got Christianity, we got the Hebrew Israelite, we got the Jews, and we got this and we got that. And it cut off. It cut off. It cut off in talking about us and our spirituality. I would say, for a better, lack of a better word, African spirituality, because all life started in Africa, and Tanzania, Kenya, right in that little gorge right there, scientifically proven that all the seeds of humanity started there from us. So that's what we got to go Black to. We got to go Black to the ancient future, to African spirituality. Why is it not talked about? Why is our spirituality is not talked about, not lived, not, propagated? We got the conscious and we got the comedic and we got that goes Black. But the others, Christianity, Islam, and all that, where the majority of us be, it doesn't go Black. And that's what we got to do. We got to unite. We got to grab each other and unite in the essence of who we are as a people. Yeah, I'm talking Black, but I can't do nothing but talk Black. Because if we don't talk Black, what are we going to be? Huh? It ain't nothing wrong with talking about who you are as a people, your culture, your spirituality. There's nothing wrong with that. See, we got to come out of that assimilated, integrated mindset. That's where everything went haywire. That's why we can't be who we are, because we're trying to emulate other people because of the wrong things. They take away our spirituality and give us materialistic aspirations. More money you got, the better you're off. The bigger home, the bigger car. Is status quo. Status quo, what it do? It take away from your humanity. First class, second class, all the classism, racism, is all the game that they created to keep us from coming together. Religions and all that don't come together is a mode of divide and conquer. We got to overcome that mentality. And I heard something about the other day that in some state they wanted to go back to separation. That's a good thing. Separation is a good thing. As long as you don't cross the line after we separated, we all right. As long as you stay on your side of the fence, we stay on our side of the fence. And those, we see where integration has taken us. Not saying all troglodytes or Neanderthals or so-called white people are bad or wrong. I'll take a handful of John Browns and the other people that like that. They sacrifice. They sacrifice their life, their son's life, and all that for a cause, a real cause, because they know what they was dealing with was not in a sense of humanity. Other than that, it's time for us to step back and step off, stand down, and let them deal with their trickology and their unapologetic racism and classism and all that among themselves. Let them deal with that. This time, when it be a Confederate Union brawl, don't be part of it. Let's develop our system of humanity, of a divine, righteous group of people in African spirituality. And thank you for listening. Thank you for joining in. This has been Blackanized International Nubian Consciousness, Blackanized Report. Just talking right now to building up the agenda for upcoming programs. I'm just getting my field back. That's coming back. I got a new apparatus. I guess it won't cut off on me this time and stuff like that. But we gotta promote who we are as a people. We gotta love one another. We gotta heal one another. We gotta bring our family ties back together and unifying family, brothers and sisters, extended family. We got to do that. We got to take back our communities. We got to not control. We got to control, not patrol. We got to do what we need to do in our communities, reach out to everyone and uplift, bring everyone together in the essence of love, loving ourselves and our lineal wealth, and understand that we don't have to, have that synthetic high. We can have a spiritual high. We got to change our language, change the things that we do in order to come together as a people. We have to operate somewhat in this system, but we got people to do that, to try to get, I ain't gonna say the crumbs off the table, but whatever can help us develop our community, because they're trying to push us out of the communities like they did before in different places in DC, around the country. It's going on around the countries. Well, we got to take a stand. We got to pool our resources and come together as a family, bloodline, and a family as extended family, and be who we got to be as one of the greatest creations of the Creator. We, as African, indigenous, Native Americans, black people, so-called black people of the Sudan, of the interior Africa, of America, South America, everywhere we've been, we are the greatest of the creation. So let's come together and build our nation once again, to come together and heal. We got to heal ourselves so we can come together in spirituality, economics, academics, and all, because we are the best of everything. They've done it. We got to be more spiritual now. It's time to get back into the natural process of living in life and come away from the synthetic deterrent in our life. The GMO foods, all the alcohol, the poison that we intake, or whatever. I ain't saying nothing about no marijuana, because they say it's scientifically proven that that's a medicine. It's a herb. But with all the chemicals in it, it takes away from the medical properties. So I want to say, let's continue our rise into the sunlight and the divine light, so that we become a divine people again through love, the essence of love, essentially through the matriarchic context of life. That's what we got to get back to. Allowing our matriarchic queens, oracle queens, and healing queens, and our intelligent queens to once again take the reign of leadership, and we be in balance with them. Ma'at, that balance, man and woman, yin and yang. That's what we got to get back to. with that, I'd like to say peace, power, and love globally. First locally, first within yourself, purifying yourself as a divine being. The energy of the Creator in your temple, in the universe, in the mind where all the minerals at. Oh, you're just such a great people. We're great people. We got to realize that about ourselves. Come together, love one another, and heal one another in our community first and worldwide. I love y'all as I love myself. But my people is the love of my life. I know we are not perfect, but we are divine people. And when we rise up in that divinity, we do perfect things, striving for perfection. And in that striving, we do all the positive things, great things. Indeed. And this day, this Black History Day, let's unify on one of the principles of Kwanzaa. Whatever principle you choose it and use it. And like we got this saying in World 8, just don't stand there. Do something. Peace. Love you.